I'm taking it slow, but I just want more. I'm taking it slow, just go with the flow.
Tales of a legendary side-scrolling action game that once drove arcades into a frenzy? The series that enthralled countless gamers. Its spirit lives on today. Double Dragon Revive!
Double Dragon is back, and this time it's bigger, meaner, and sharper than ever. Arc System Works has officially confirmed that Double Dragon Revive is hitting Nintendo Switch, making sure no brawler is left behind. Launching October 23rd, it's definitely not a nostalgia bait. It's a full-scale revival built for a new era. Billy and Jimmy return to the streets of a post-nuclear wasteland, fists flying to rescue Marion from the Shadow Warriors. It's got the vertical stage design, brutal enemy patterns, and environmental hazards that feel straight out of the 80s arcade glory days. With co-op and deluxe editions stacked with extras, Double Dragon Revive is a statement.
Players can choose from 4 characters. Repeated button presses perform dynamic combos to repel oncoming waves of enemies. You can grab enemies and pummel them, or throw them in your direction of choice. Slam them into groups of enemies, or even send them flying off the stage.
It took over the government and let the gangs tear the place apart. They've taken my brother. It's time to fight.
Redline, I got your back. Always.
Spine is the kind of game that grabs you in a single clip. Gun-fu acrobatics so slick it feels ripped straight out of a John Wick fever dream. You play as Redline, a street artist packing a deadly combat implant, carving through a cyberpunk city with pistols, shotguns, and bone-crunching melee. In motion, it's pure chaos, vaulting over goons, blasting mid-roll, snapping necks before diving back into cover. The dudes clearly studied every action movie under the sun. The Raid, Equilibrium, even Bullet Train. And it shows in the choreography. It's stylish, aggressive, and makes you feel like the most dangerous person in the room. Marvel's going full retro with Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a 4-player, side-scrolling beat-em-up that mashes MCU icons with deep-cut heroes you've probably never even seen outside the comics. Think Spider-Man and Storm brawling alongside Phyla Vale, Nova, and Beta Ray Bill, all in glorious 16-bit inspired pixel art. You pick 2 characters and can tag them in and out mid-fight, meaning up to 8 Marvel heroes can be on screen at once, tearing through swarms of enemies. Levels end in big boss battles. It's chaotic, colorful, and pure button mashing bliss. Marvel Cosmic Invasion lands later this year on Switch.
At last, Castle Grayskull is mine!
Not so fast, Skeletor.
Whoa, what's happening?
We got a sneak peek at He-Man and the Masters of the Universe, Dragon Pearl of Destruction, and it feels like the arcade brawler Eternia deserves. The pixel art visuals perfectly nail that 80s cartoon nostalgia, and the combat, fast, brutal, and surprisingly deep. You control He-Man, Teela, Man-at-Arms, or even Battle Cat, chaining attacks, slamming enemies with power-ups, and tearing through Skeletor's forces across 12 insane levels. Every stage is packed with interactive hazards and secret combos that reward experimentation. Limited run games and Bitmap Bureau clearly poured love into the details. Launching in 2026 on Switch and PC, this is a must-play for fans old and
and the
new.
Masters of the Universe Dragon Pearl of Destruction, coming soon. From Limited Run Games.
Coming in at number 5, it's Absalom. And now, This beat-em-up roguelike is wild. You play as one of 4 rebels trying to stop the Sun King Azra, and each run feels fresh thanks to procedural enemies and hand-drawn-esque visuals that pop. Combat is insanely flexible. You swing, cast, glide, and chain magic attacks, with Brom the Frog Wizard stealing the show. Death isn't a setback, it's a chance to learn enemy patterns and come back stronger. Every stage is packed with surprises, hazards, and clever enemy designs. Launching on 9th October 2025 for Nintendo Switch, Absalom nails that balance between stylish, challenging, and endlessly replayable. Jay and Silent Bob Chronic Blunt Punch is like a love letter to classic beat-em-ups. The game nails that Streets of Rage energy while packing in endless View Ascuniverse references. You play as Jay or Silent Bob combing through Jersey streets, trash cans, and mindless teenagers, while building your blue energy meter for insane special moves. Think Jay turning Mega Man style or Silent Bob spinning like Psycho Crusher. Co-op shines, letting you tag team bosses and pull off devastating assists. Hand-drawn visuals pop, the humor lands, and even solo play feels solid. Launching on PC in 2025, this is retro chaos done right. Radiant Guardians of Light is an action RPG that feels like a beat-em-up with skill trees and crafting layered on top. Players choose between Einar, a melee fighter, or Quinn, a ranged hero, and can switch anytime or tackle the adventure in local co-op. Combat is fast and strategic, with enemies coming from multiple directions and mini-bosses keeping every zone tense. Experience unlocks skills while ingredients let you craft gear and potions, giving your builds impact. The game shines in its colorful, detailed world, showing off equipped gear and unique enemy designs. Coming to Switch, it's accessible, rewarding, and fun for solo or co-op players. Mayhem Brothers. Best of Both Worlds looks like the ultimate mashup of retro arcade, beat-em-ups, and modern roguelike versions. Arcane tracking this one, and the dual timeline mechanic is insane. Fight alongside Stella in the past, while she Warhammer's chaos in the present, switching between heroes to take on over 40 unique enemies. Hand-drawn, comic-inspired visuals pop with frame-by-frame animation, and the soundtrack absolutely slaps. Solo or co-op, the game rewards skills, timing, and clever use of each character's abilities. Player choices shape the story, and repeated runs always feel fresh. This one's a wild replayable ride. Scott Pilgrim is back swinging, and this time it looks bigger, louder, and more stylish than ever. It's a brand new retro brawler from the team behind TMNT. Shredder's Revenge, which already sets the bar pretty high. Launching in early 2026, the game lets you brawl as Scott, Ramona, and 5 other characters in an all-new storyline co-written by series creator Brian Lee O'Malley himself. Expect a warped Toronto crawling with demons, robots, and vegan enforcers, backed by fresh Anamanaguchi tracks and crisp Paul Robertson pixel art. Simply put, this is Scott Pilgrim's most explosive comeback yet. Terrifier the arcade game is something else. I actually checked out the demo and it nails that old school arcade vibe but drenched in the kind of gore you'd expect from art. The Clown. You're literally stomping through film sets, ripping apart cops, stunt guys, whoever's in your way, and it doesn't hold back. The pixel art looks gorgeous in the most disgusting way possible. Every slash and finisher feels brutal but smooth. It's chaotic, bloody, and honestly kind of hilarious in how over the top it gets. This really feels like if someone mashed Final Fight with a midnight horror flick. Demo's only up for a bit, so it's worth jumping in while you can. Heroes of Mount Dragon is bringing Saturday morning cartoon chaos to the Switch this September. This side-scrolling brawler isn't just button mashing, it's dragon morphing mayhem. You'll pick from a roster of heroes, each able to transform into a fire-breathing, screen-clearing dragon, then smash through waves of enemies or troll your friends with wild curses like shrinking them mid-fight. The game mixes hand-drawn 2D art with 3D backdrops, giving it a playful but polished vibe. Couch or online, co-op or versus, it's built for both teamwork and rivalry. If you've been craving a beat-em-up that feels equal parts nostalgic and unhinged, Heroes of Mount Dragon looks like it's about to deliver. The Super Nintendo classic rival turf is coming back too, reimagined as Rushing Beat X, a new school beat-em-up for Switch 2. You'll brawl through subways, malls, labs and slums as Rick Douglas or one of 4 other fighters taking down gangs and uncovering the truth behind the Zika virus. The combat's tighter than ever, with new weapons, ally assist and rage mode to turn the tide. Casuals can auto-combo, while veterans juggle enemies with sick follow-ups and counters. It's classic side-scrolling action, louder, faster, and way more stylish. Whether solo or co-op, this one's got that crunchy old-school punch. No date yet, but it's digital and Switch 2 exclusive. Blades and Battles feels like one of those games you stumble across, play for 10 minutes, and suddenly you're hooked. It's a fantasy beat-em-up built around a younger barbarian-era King Arthur, and the vibes are straight Golden Axe but cranked up for modern players. You've got Arthur and Lancelot as the main playable heroes, each rocking unique sword skills that push you to experiment instead of button mash. What really caught my eye is the presentation, cinematic moments that slide seamlessly into combat, lush scenery that feels alive, and this raw sense of adventure. It's classic arcade chaos reimagined with style.